Hi, this is Brandon Smiley from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about exercise called the incline bench press versus bands. It's a great way to build your incline bench press, your shoulders, your chest, and really develop some power as well. So standard variation of the incline bench press. If you want to know how to incline bench press, watch our video there. I'm briefly going to talk about some stuff and coaching cues for this particular exercise, but if you want all the in-depth stuff on incline bench pressing, check out that video. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to set the bands up. However, we're going to set it up like we're going to squat. So if you've watched my how to set up bands video for the bench press, that's how you would do it if you're going to be doing a flat bench press. But because we're on the incline and the barbell is further away from the ground, it usually works best, not always, but for probably 90% plus of people, it always works best to have it to where you're going to set it up like you're going to squat. If you happen to be somebody with really short limbs, or the way you have to rig the bands up a little bit differently, then you can set it up like your standard bench press. But I have pretty short arms, I'm not a big guy, and I even use this way to set it up. So it will work, and I think it's why it's a preferred method. So to walk you through that really quick, have your barbell in the rack, wherever you want your J hooks to be. You are going to need an incline bench for this, and you are going to need a power rack for this, probably in most cases than not, because you are going to need a way to attach the bands. You could drag dumbbells over, but I really think that it's just the way more efficient way to do it. So if you don't have this, you probably may want to look to try to find a rack to where you can do this. But we are going to need a 0 to 90 bench, set it at about 30 to 45 degrees for your incline. Once you got that part, come over here to the bands, and we're going to put one loop around here, but we're basically going to run the band through itself to make a triangle, and then the band comes up to the bar. This is going to ensure that we got band tension all the way at the bottom of the exercise. Now, I will tell you, it's not a ton with just regular mini bands for someone short like me. Someone taller may be getting more from it. So the height of the athlete or person using it is definitely a big piece of the puzzle to finding the correct band that you're going to want. But once you got that, then we just do it on both sides. Then, from the execution standpoint, we're going to sit down on the bench, feet out in front of us just a little bit. I don't usually recommend tucking your feet for incline. I think you lose a lot of stability. I think you're going to want the stability in this exercise. Just have your feet flat, slightly out in front of you, and I think you'll be good there. We're going to lay back on the bench, make sure the barbell is rolled all the way into the front of the J hooks. Line your hands up in a normal position that you would when you bench press. So I'm normally a ring finger on the ring lifter. I bring my hands in just slightly for incline bench, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big breath, make sure my shoulders are set back onto the bench. I'm going to press to unrack it, bring it out forward over my chest. I'm going to make sure I'm going to come down, touch my chest, press back up. I want to make sure my elbows stay relatively in. We don't want to have our elbows coming out like this. Keep them in and press all the way back up towards the rack and then back. Okay? Now, main coaching cues and things you want to remember with this exercise is, one, setting up your band tension. You're ideally going to want about 20-25% of your 1 rep max in terms of band tension. So if you're a 200-pound incline bench presser, you're probably going to want about 40 pounds of band tension. That's probably about this. This might be a little less. So I'm probably kind of in between bands personally. However, if in doubt, go with the lower band tension to start, and you can build up into band tension if you need to play with it. But setting it up like this, it is a nice smooth curve. It's not like it's going to hit you like crazy. It feels relatively good. Now, the benefits of the bands are that we're going to get over speed eccentric. So the bands are constantly pulling down the whole time, whether I'm moving the weight or not. However, when I come down, the barbell is generally going to move faster than gravity. So, it's trying to pull down faster than what gravity is just by itself. That is a little bit more damaging to the muscle tissue, and the tendons react and want to stretch. They stretch faster, they want to contract faster. So this is a way to help you learn how to press faster, which makes it great for dynamic effort training if you happen to be a conjugate person. And if you happen to be wanting to just improve your lockout or your overall strength of like your overhead press, your incline bench press, this works great because as you come down, we're going to have less tension, the bands are stretched less, and as we go to press, there's going to be more tension applied to the barbell, so our body is going to perceive and feel more load, and therefore it's going to help work on our lockout and our tricep strength as well. So there's a lot of really good benefits to bands, and you can pick them up on many different fitness sites. We get ours from elitefts.com, but in general, you can find these kind of resistance bands just about anywhere. If you look on most major exercise and training facility outfitters, you'll be able to find them. So that's all the setup. When it comes to programming, If you're a conjugate person, this could be your max effort or your dynamic effort stuff. If you don't train conjugate, that's entirely fine. This could be your main movement. This could be your supplemental or your secondary movement to build your first movement. There's really a lot of wiggle room of how you want to do this. My suggestion, if you don't train overhead, this is probably a better supplemental exercise. If you are overhead, somebody like a strongman, then I think this works great as a max effort variation as well to try to improve upon, to improve your overhead pressing strength and ability, and particularly if you have lockout issues there. So usually if it was a max effort, we would talk about a 1 to 3 rep max for the day. If it's supplemental, probably 3 to 4 sets, probably 3 to 6 reps. And if you're in a hypertrophy phase, maybe even up to 8 reps. And then if you're using this for your dynamic effort work, then you're probably going to want to have between 40 and 50% of your 1 rep max of your incline bench in this case. And then you would perform that for 8 to 10 sets of 3, pressing as fast as you possibly can to develop speed. I would say that for this exercise, because the range of motion is bigger, you don't have to be married to that 8 to 10 sets of 3. There's more time under tension. There's more range of motion to press. So you could probably get away with maybe even doing 8 sets of 2 or 10 sets of 2. You've got quite a bit of options. If you have any questions directly about the programming side, please feel free to leave in the comment section. I'll get back to you about what might work best for you in your particular case. But there is a lot of options with an exercise like this. So the only thing is the setup piece is a little bit important because you got to have an incline bench. You probably got to have a rack, and you probably got to have some kind of way to attach the bands to the rack. But if you can do that, this is a great variation to help build your incline bench press. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section, and have a great day.